Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who were that taught us the truth, and much love, greetings, and salutations to all our fellow laborers of the tabernacle of David, though for elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And this is from the Blacklisted News. It says 1,700 people indicted, arrested in massive nationwide human trafficking sweep. All right, and like the scriptures say, it says in Isaiah the 47th chapter, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. All right, so, more dirt is, being uncovered, and this devil, everybody's starting to see, which, for a long time, we already know that, because this devil, he has a very corrupt, wicked nature. That's how the Most High created him. So he can't do anything righteous. But it's been known for quite some time, how these devils get down. They do a lot of this human trafficking for the higher ups. They need sacrifices being done. And that's how they keep their power from the left hand side. All right. A lot of these children that go missing, that's because, your higher ups, they need that. They need them sacrifices, man. They have to perform sex magic, take away the innocency of the children. That's what gives them their left hand power. All right. But anyway, I want to read some of this because I find it interesting that the Department of Justice is cracking down on specific, type of individuals that are participants, and I'm thinking, when are you going to crack down upon the key players that actually matter? Are the same elected officials and higher ups who's being exposed on a daily basis? But you got document leaks, emails, just constantly coming out, exposing a lot of these people that's in office or candidates, these motherfuckers are highly demonic. All right. They all deal with human sex trafficking or child sex trafficking. OK, they all are corrupt and vile. So when are you going to crack down upon them? What about these Talmudic, deaf sex cult ballerine Khazarians, man? What about them? But anyway, it says the U.S. Department of Justice is cracking down on a multi-billion-dollar business of human trafficking in the U.S. In June, 1,700 people were arrested nationwide for allegedly committing child sex and exploitation crimes as part of a nationwide DOJ initiative called Operation Broken Heart. As the perception of sexual exploitation of children continues to move from windowless vans and back alleys to dark websites on the internet, the investigation and prosecution of these vile crimes must continue to evolve, said Bobby L. Christine, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Georgia. We are determined with our law enforcement partners to find these criminals wherever they try to hide and protect the innocent from victimization. So are you going to also find those children who's been getting snatched up in those, in those vans and taken to them private jets and being flown to these pedophile islands? Because all that is coming out on Jeff Epstein. You got the Lolita Express, which is a private jet that he's been using to actually, they lure those children onto those planes. And then, they have they perform, sexual obscenity with these minors. And then they bring them to them little islands that only the rich can be. They don't have law enforcement and, stuff like that there. And they have their way with these children. It's straight up Sonoma County, Bohemian Grove type of activity going on them islands. And only those higher ups have access to it. So you can only imagine what they're getting away with and what they're doing with these children. You ain't gonna crack down upon them, no. All right. But this is just more exposure. You know, Esau is being found out for the wicked that he is, and Babylon as a whole. All right. Basically, Isaiah 47, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, and yet thy shame shall be seen. And that's why the Lord said, I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. You got to take you devils out, man. It's too much filth. Okay. It says this operation conducted during April and May by the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force resulted in the arrest of nearly 1,700 suspected online child sex offenders. The task forces identified 308 offenders and 357 child victims. The task forces investigated more than 18,500 complaints of facilitated crimes targeting children and delivered more than 2,150 presentations on internet safety to over 201,000 youth and adults nationwide, the DOJ reports. Human trafficking crimes defined in Title 18, Chapter 77 of federal law involve the act of compelling or coercing a person's labor, services, or commercial sex acts, according to the DOJ's website. The coercion can be subtle or overt, physical or psychological, but it must be used to coerce a victim into performing labor, services, or commercial sex acts. Hey, and like I said, this is what your higher ups are actually doing. All right, your secretaries, your senators, all right, your candidates for becoming president, the Joe Bidens. All these dudes are freaks, man. They're lowlifes, and this is what they do when they go to Sonoma County. Okay, different remote islands that only the super rich can be. They ain't gonna crack down on them because they're above the law. Okay. So let me go to a scripture, because the scripture speaks against kidnapping. All right, that's in the law. This is Exodus 21. So like Exodus 21 and verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, shall surely be put to death. All right. So basically, if you kidnap somebody and they be found in your head, or you know you're taking people because you want to sell them to, you know, some type of a sex trafficking ring, or you know you kidnapping children because you want to give them over to, you know, these Democratic politicians, you know, these sick freaks, man, these Republicans, these higher ups. Hey, the Most High he's gonna destroy you. All right, that's vile, that's wicked, man. Hey, but the scriptures say the soul that is lifted up in him is not upright in him. You know, that's just a very wicked nature, this beast-like nature of Esau, man. He's a profane, he's a fornicator and a profane man. He's ungodly, man. Okay. So let me go from there and let me get 1 Timothy. And this is why basically when Esau goes down, the law is going to go back into full effect, meaning the law of the scriptures. And when we get set up in our kingdom, you're not going to have none of this going on. He sets up his own laws. And that's why everything is so corrupted, man. All right, this is 1 Timothy 1, verse 9. It says, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient. And these nations, they're lawless, man. That's why they have no true morality. Okay, they're all a bunch of beasts, man. It says, but for the lawless and disobedient, like what would possess you to want to do something lewd or obscene towards a minor? Because the children that they take are prepubescent, man. They're not even they're not even developed, and a lot of the victims are boys all right, that are actually victims of homosexual men. A lot of these pedophiles are actually homosexuals. They looking for little boys, man, to molest. And that's very sickly, man. It says, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers or murderers, serial killers. It says for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, homosexuality, for men stealers, kidnappers, traffickers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine. That's what the law is for, man. And the law is going to actually go forth again. But right now, because the wicked is in rulership, all right, let's get Habakkuk 1 and 4. It says, therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doeth never go forth, for the wicked doeth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. And that's why you're still going to continuously have pedophile priest molesting these children, and you got these stupid ass Hispanics and Haitians that are still Catholic, and you sending your children to the, in those churches, and you wonder why your children is becoming psychologically damaged, because they're in there getting psychologically tormented by getting molested, man. Experiencing that trauma that changes them. You know? So these pedophile priests, you know, judgment don't really crack down on them. They get exposed, and then you never hear about it. Why? Because they're not really getting a judge for it. They're getting basically sent away. They sweep it under the rug and send them away, man, and you don't hear about it. And they actually have laws that actually protect these pedophile priests, man, these cardinals. All right, you got these Hollywood directors, the casting couch members, these record execs. A lot of them are pedophiles, man. They ain't gonna crack down on them unless you Bill Cosby or R. Kelly. If you a nigga, they'll crack down on you then. All right, let's see what happens with Jeff Epstein, man. All right, I'm anxious to see how that's going to turn out. All right, because we know Esau has respect of persons, because really he only looks out for his own interests. Okay, but he don't realize that the Most High has the scopeo on his ass. Everything that he's doing, he's not going to get away with. Everything that he's doing in the dark is going to come to light, and that's what's constantly exposing and lifting up the skirt on this devil, man. Therefore, that shameful spewing is being poured on there. Matter of fact, let me get it. Habakkuk, was that 2 and 15? 16? Yeah, this is Habakkuk 2 and 16. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. All right. And this is shameful. And it's like every other day reports are coming out, whether it be on blacklisted news. You know, you can go to naturalnews.com. You know, you can go to your news wire. You know, newspunch.com. And all these reports are steady just coming out, man. Matter of fact, I just read, I came across an article on how Jeff Epstein, this motherfucker lost attraction. He lose that attraction for females once they start to hit puberty. Basically, when they braces come off of their teeth, he no longer has a sexual desire or attraction for them. He feel like by the time they get around 16, 17, they're too old. You know? So, hey, right there, man. This is that shame that's just constantly being poured out, man. All right. So let's go from there. Let's get Nahum 3. And it says, verse 5, Nahum 3 and verse 5, it says, Matter of fact, I'll start at 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts. All right, basically, you're the queen of witchcraft, man. And sex magic is part of that witchcraft. You taking a lot of souls of these different children, man. And this is how you get your left-hand power, man. All right, so that's a form of your witchcraft. It says that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. All right, it says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile and will set thee as a gazing stock. All right. So your shame is being shown worldwide, man. Like these devils, man, they got a problem. Just touching children left and right all over, man. You kidnapping children. And then you want to come out and blame the so-called illegal immigrants on this activity, man. When it's mainly Edomites that are being caught molesting children. As a matter of fact, I searched up this video. It was on World Star, where these women, they actually found an actual sex trafficking van, and that was actually mentioned in this article that I just read. Let me play this real quick. And you think that this is a type of vehicle that actually store bombs or something, like it got C4 up in it. No, this is actually for sex trafficking, man. When you kidnap these children, you know, they put the little muzzle on them. And basically, if a child screams, when you close the door, you can't hear nothing, man. You can't hear no scream, no yells or nothing. And they actually show you that in this video. All right, let me play just a little bit. I'm not going to play this whole thing.
That's the power in everything. That power, all this shit. Extra L. This L. It's like this, like all this.
I didn't even see that.
I don't even know what all this is. That shit look like a bomb or some shit. This is, I don't know. This right here. That's like the door. I think this unlocked the door. I want to close down in here and see. No, it don't close in. Yeah,
and it's probably bulletproof. So if there is some activity going on, they got, you know, young boys and young girls, you know, trapped up in there. If anybody tried to retrieve them or try to, you know, shoot, you know, to stop these people, the bullets ain't really getting through. All right, so they do this type of shit, man. Man, their wickedness is great, man.
I'm gonna open it.
I just want to see, knock on it so we can see. Can you hear?
I will climb out, Alicia. Let her do it.
She ain't scared of him. Put it though. She from Texas with the face on me. Knock. Hold on. Knock.
Say something. Scream. Open the door, tell her scream.
You can't hear it knocking.
You can hear it a little bit, but barely.
She said scream.
Closing the screen. Do it again. Oh, hell no. You can't even hear it.
Yeah, man, it's wickedness, man. That's wow. Let me get one more scripture and I'm gonna close out, man. It's Psalms chapter 10 and verse. I'm gonna start at verse 12. It says, "Arise, O Yahweh, O power, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. Wherefore doeth the wicked the Most High power? He hath said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none." And he's going to continue to be seeked out and exposed, man. And that's why, pretty soon, all right, this devil is going to be in dire straits, all right? And it's going to be all, hey, the Most High is going to bring hell. He's already bringing judgment, man. Okay? And it's going to be massive destruction in the streets, all right? And the Lord's going to, increase the tension in the Middle East. That's going to draw you into this final world's war. And it's going to result in this place getting bombarded with thermonuclear destruction, man. And I can't wait. Because then we look for a new heaven and a new earth where therein dwelleth righteousness, man. All right, order. Okay? This man, he has to be stopped. So anyway, with that, hopefully this is edifying. We give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Until next time, Shalom.